and I want to just break down how the government shutdown impacts schools and how it should impact the way that we show up. Hey, Richard. Just for context, the government didn't shut down. Hey, Brian. However, it was a very real possibility. And so, what it did for me was it sparked, you know what, parents need to know that this definitely affects schools and it definitely affects parenting. So, I want to share what we avoided with the government not shutting down, and I want to share what can be at stake if we remain unaware. That means that if we're like, whoo, it didn't shut down and we go about business as normal, there is something at stake. So, we're talking from the lens of school parenting, and school parenting is extending your parenting power to school. You are a parent and you have power, and we want to extend that power to school. I want you to know that if you are a high earning executive, an entrepreneur, an educator, that you have power, and your power is not just at home. Your power extends to school. Your power extends to impacting the school system. So you are showing up for your child so that they get everything they need, resources, that they get everything that they need, services, that they get everything that they need, support, so that they can succeed in school and in life. All right, are y'all with me? Just drop a one if you with me. I know it's early-ish. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I want to call you Sister Sister Robinson. Can I call you Madeline? Good morning. Good morning. Hi, mompreneur. ATL. Good morning. Okay, a one if you're with me, because I am acceleration. Friends and family know we're going to do this thing quickly. All right. You are a busy professional parent. I know you got to get to work. I know you got to get them kids up. You got to get them babies dropped off. So we're going to do this in 15 minutes or less. And I want you, when you all see me on live, share the live, hop in the live, engage with me, because it's going to be 15 minutes that are going to change your life. All right. So we're talking about how the government shutdown impacts schools, but how it really impacts you and your family. So I heard about the shutdown and I'm like, what? So I get to studying, I get to reading, I get to researching, and I get aggressive about finding out exactly what's going on. I want to call you out, parents. I know you're busy, but I know that you know how to reprioritize so that you can be invested in your child's education. If you are not ready, if you're like, I'm busy, and then there's a list of excuses or reasons, okay, you can save this live and log off. I want to talk to the parents who are busy and their busyness is fuel for them to get information. I know I know that busy parents get things done. I know that you have many, many priorities, but your children are at the top of the list. I know that you're going to use this information to change and transform your life and the lives of your children or your child. All right. So if you're not ready, it's okay. Log off. And if you're ready and you're with me, drop something in the chat so I know that you're ready and you're with me. Keep listening. This is for you. You're high achieving, you're high earning, you're an entrepreneur, you're an educator, you're on the go, which means that you can invest, that you do plan for your child's success, and that you are taking on the leadership role that you play in your child's education. You're taking emotions out of the driver's seat and you're leading with relationship. Is that you? Is anybody feeling that? Like, is that you? I got a good morning, a one, and then of course, I got people still on the live here. So I'm going to say that that's you, but I want you all to talk back to me. As a teacher, we have something called check for understanding. So I just need a one. I need a it's me, I'm with you, or something so that I know that you are here and tuned in. A lot of this I'm reserving for my Parent Plus community, but these lives are a gift. I'm like, come on in. I want to share the information. But if you're interested in joining a more intimate community, my Parent Plus community has space available for this month. We have space available and I'm making room for you all. So as you listen to this live, I want you to consider joining the Parent Plus community. You're going to get skills, you're going to get knowledge, you're going to get confidence through coaching and through relationship. And guess what? You get it in community, which is the best way to get it. So, quick story time before I share the ways that this government shutdown is impacting you and your child and the school. I am in Kansas City, Missouri. Go Chiefs, go Royals. Woo woo, go barbecue and go Impact. All right. Kansas City is very unique because we have an education landscape where there are charter, public, private schools, and it's about a 50-50 public charter split. All right. That means that this is a city where parents have decided that they get to have choice and exercise choice, that they get to make decisions based on outcomes. All right. Kansas City is the bomb.com when it comes to education because they are moving toward positioning parents. I say moving toward because we got to get in position, but we're moving toward positioning parents to really lead in education. Um, I joined two organizations in my city, and those organizations are sharing information and they are sharing skills and knowledge and they are building community. And last year I went to the Capitol with one of the orgs and in Jefferson City, Missouri. And I'm like, I need to meet the people making decisions. I need to see them. I need to, I was quieter than usual because I wanted to observe and I wanted to see what were they talking about? What were they offering? What were they presenting? What change are you making as an elected official? And so I have gone on a journey. This journey started last year of investing my time and resources, planning ahead for my son's education and leading in the change. I am the teacher. And this month in Parent Plus, we're talking about meet the teacher. Spoiler alert, parent, you're the teacher. I am the teacher. And who I send my son to at school is a co-teacher. They're partnering with me at school, but I am the teacher in life. All right? Y'all with me? Does that make sense to you? Do you feel that in your bones? Like, yeah, I'm the teacher because I know my child best and I know what's best for them. And so this government shutdown was about three things. Money or impacts three things. Money, all right? People, okay? And jobs. Money, people, and jobs. And the people who were most impacted or could be impacted by a government shutdown and education are two programs, Head Start and Impact Aid. That means that those who are impacted on a socioeconomic, how much money they make level, and those who are impacted on where they live. Okay, geographic. So early childhood through elementary, through middle, through high school could have been impacted by the government shutdown and the ways of funding. Remember, this is about money, about people, about jobs. So, tip number one, I'll just give it to you in tips. Tip number one is I want you as a parent and as a parent plus to look for the opportunity to engage. All right. If you're looking and something looks like a problem, I want you to look at it from a different angle and see an opportunity. So I heard about this government shutdown and I'm like, sounds like an obstacle. But really, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for me to engage. It's an opportunity for me to learn more. And it's an opportunity for me to share my knowledge with you. What are the opportunities, excuse me, that you have mistaken for obstacles when it comes to your child's success or your child's education? Now, in community with others, you'll be able to find the opportunities that are embedded in the day to day obstacles and get what you need to have an impact. All right. I'm sending out daily text messages. I've been doing that for the past 2 months to friends, to anybody who has a child, anybody who is parenting, text messages with info, with tips, with strategies, with encouragement. And these text messages have empowered parents for the last 2 months. Well, guess what? That's an added bonus and benefit for my Parent Plus community. So if you are thinking, man, I need that. I need tips, strategies, information. I want you to consider joining Parent Plus. Join a community where that's embedded in what is shared and what is given. It actually shows up at your front door. And because you're a busy, intentional parent, you don't have to pull up for it. It literally is hand delivered to you. All right. So, number one, when we think about this government shutdown, I want you to look for opportunities to engage. And if it looks like a problem or an obstacle, I want you to see it as an opportunity. All right. Drop a two if you're ready for number two. We're on a roll. Drop a two if you're ready for number two. And by the way, if you're interested, if you're like, I'm ready for Parent Plus, just type community so I know to send you the link to get started. I would love, love, love to work with you. Number two. Oh, I don't see no twos. All right. I'm going to what's the word? I don't want to say assume. I know that you're in motion. So I'm going to feel the two and keep sharing. I know that you're in motion and you just can't type a two. So I'm going to feed you a number two. Find the numbers. What do I mean by this? How many children, I got a question. How many children can fail in your school or your district or your state, and you still feel like there is success in your school, in your district, in your state? Here's another way to ask. How many children can fail for you to feel like, oh, this school is successful. This district is successful. This state is successful. How many? What's the number? What's the percentage? How many can fail? How many can fail? If you're like me, I'm thinking zero. Unacceptable. And so I want you to know the numbers so that you can speak to them. You can speak to the numbers. That builds awareness. And for many people, it may feel like pressure. Under pressure, people change forms. And if we're changing forms, we are changing. And change is coming through knowledge. All right. What I mean by that is there is a report, and I'm going to give you all the link, and I'll also put this in my stories. The nation's report card. So the government actually has to produce a report card of how each state is doing when it comes to school and learning and academics. And the nation's report card can also be focused in or zeroed in on a specific state. So I have the state of Missouri's report card from 2022 pulled up. I'm going to read a couple of the results and move on. You'll get it. Know the numbers. In 2022, the average score of fourth grade students in Missouri was 213. This was not significantly different from the average score of 216 for students in the nation. Now, the numbers mean nothing, government. Okay, this report means not 213 out of, it means nothing. So it has significance, but it doesn't have complete context. So there is an achievement level, percentages, and average scores. That's what I'm going to slide over to. Good morning, Kelly. And what this shares that 213 and 218 and 215 and 216 would not share is the below basic, the proficient, and the advanced. Now that means something, right? So in the state of Missouri, 40% of fourth grade students are basic, or sorry, below basic. 40% are below basic. We could do quick math. 40 are below basic, which means that 60 are either basic, proficient, or advanced. But I'll keep going. 29 are basic, 23 are proficient, and 7 are advanced. The level of proficiency is 23. Proficiency means I have this. Like I'm mastering it. This is something that I know very well. I have learned the concept. I've practiced enough to demonstrate that I am proficient. And that number is 23% in Missouri. So looking at the overall 213, you might read that and say, okay. And you also might read or see the average is nationwide is 216. Okay, so Missouri's doing pretty well. 213, 216. But then we got to slide over to what do those numbers mean? And I'm going to stop there, or I'm going to pause there, because you will know this in community. You will know this when you have access to the Parent Plus community. We're going to break down every single parent's state data and have an understanding so that we can speak to these numbers, so that we can call out these numbers, so that we can build awareness. And yes, it may feel like pressure, but pressure in the right place produces change. And we're going to put pressure on the government, the system, the schools, the teachers, the leadership and administrators, so that our children are successful in school and in life. We're looking at this in Parent Plus. We're looking at numbers. We're looking at grades. We're looking at scores. And my child's school, is going to measure up because I am a Parent Plus. So, questions that I'm asking my child's school: what are the measures of success? Looking at the next 3 months, what is the goal for learning? So my goal for him is that he knows his letters, his letter sounds, he knows his numbers and quantities. What is the assessment? What is the practice? What does literacy and math look like? What does science and social studies or social awareness look like? Yes, at age 3 and age 10 and age 13 and age 19. What does it look like? Everything that we do, learning is embedded in that as a parent. And so we're able to build skills. I am an educator. All right. Remember, I talked about this month is Meet the Teacher. You are the teacher. You're a Parent Plus. I am the teacher. I'm a Parent Plus. Now, my background is education. I have 14 years of a background in education, and I can find the teachable moments during nap time. I'm talking about any time. It could be a learning moment. It's a math lesson, right? It's a science lesson. It's a read aloud. And I want to teach you, the busy parent, how to do the same thing. So join the community. Type community and let's get started. We're kicking off our first October session next week. And so I would love for you to be in the space. But when you join, you have immediate access to our curriculum library. So every replay and every resource and every tip, tool, and strategy is presented to you right away. And then you're on the text message list as well. I want you to join the community. You don't know some of what I share just because you don't know the people who know. You just don't know enough people who know. And you got to be in community with those who know. So comment community to join us. All right, we're going to keep going. Number 3, and this is my final point tip, way that the government shutdown could potentially impact us. We have to think about making it personal. As an entrepreneur, you will have started and are running a business to build legacy, right? As an executive, you are leading an organization toward change and impact, right? As an educator, you know what it takes for learning and success to happen at school. So 3 things are clear. You've made this personal: wealth, legacy, and wisdom. Legacy, wealth, and wisdom. Wisdom, wealth, and legacy. I don't know what order of importance this is for you, but if those 3 words are words that you are building toward, that you are striving toward, that you are working for, and you feel busy. And at moments you feel exhausted and you feel tired, and you're like, but I know I need to prioritize my kids' education and their success and my relationship with them. You need to do so in community. All right. So we get it all in Parent Plus. You get the tips, tools, strategies for building wealth, for building legacy, and for extending your knowledge in applying that knowledge, which is the definition of wisdom. Our community is about pooling our resources, bringing them together. This is how you build. Parent Plus is stacked. I have parents who are in multiple industries, okay, a variety of career fields. who have decided to come into one place and prioritize their child's success. And we have room for you. And you got a little time. I'm saying you got a lot of time, but you got a little time. And if you will make the time, I will make the room. I will make the space for you. You'll have what you need to access that success. That way, a government shutdown is not a threat to what you are building, to what you have built, to what you've established, to your vision, to your goal, to your dream for success. So I want you to comment community. And while you're at it, get in the Parent Plus Summit that's taking place Saturday, October 28th, because you'll have access to the replays for that. You'll have access to the resources for that. You'll have everything that I have ever created for parents. You get first dibs, you get grabs, and you get the coaching twice a month. So, twice a month coaching, resources, replays, tips, tools, strategies, coaching, community. You get that. And the daily text messages are like a little sprinkle on top. My Parent Plus community has my attention and they have my word. They have my commitment. And even if and when the government shuts down, it didn't this time, they will have wealth, they will have legacy, and they will have wisdom to stick to the vision that God's given them for success in their family. 100%, 10 toes down, I guarantee. And there is no hesitation, no hesitation, no stutter stepping, and that being the truth. When you are ready, all right, comment community for the link to join. When you are ready, slide in the DM and type summit so you can get the link to join our free summit. I'm excited. I'm energized. I hope you feel empowered. I hope you know that, yes, we missed the government shutdown this time, but there is a way to prepare for the next time. And while we're at it, I wanted to share this because remember I said look for opportunities and don't see the problem as an obstacle. So I'm looking through my notes and I'm like, all right, who voted for and against what? And I went to I think it was a CBS News. And they're celebrating, right, that we avoided the government shutdown. Senate passed a short-term bill for funding for the government. So every place and every need that they already designated, it currently exists. Mind you, less than 10% of the government's funding goes to education. But we prioritize every student succeeds. We'll talk about it later. We're not going to get into that. We'll talk about it later. So I'm like, okay, they passed it, right? But to what degree? So this was an 88-9 vote. So 88 in support and 9 opposed. And I'm thinking, all right, what 9 was about to hold this process up or try to? This bill now is on Joe Biden's desk, President Joe Biden's desk, and he needs to sign it, okay? So that we can okay. Oh, he did sign. Sorry. He did sign. He did sign. He did sign. Where am I trying to? I'm trying to look for. Okay, here are the 9. Here are the 9. Here are the 9. Here are the 9. So if your state is represented here in the 9, it's the opportunity. It's the opportunity. It's time to show up. 9 Republican senators voted against the funding bill. 9 Republican senators voted against the funding bill. They include Senator Marsha Blackburn and Bill Haggerty of Tennessee. Tennessee, I see you. Mike Braun of Indiana. Ted Cruz of Texas. All right, Tennessee, Indiana, and Texas. Roger Marshall of Kansas. Y'all know I'm in Missouri, not the neighbors. Mike Lee of Utah. That's the bet. Rand Paul of Kentucky. And Eric Schmidt of Missouri. Now, these Republican senators had their reasons, right? But when I talk about the impact and what a government shutdown would do, I want you to keep their names and the state in mind. And if you are in Missouri, Kentucky, Utah, Kansas, Texas, Indiana, or Tennessee, I'm going to need you to pull up on Parent Plus. We have absolutely got work to do. Comment community, join me and have a fantastic week. You are now informed. Go and be great. You're a Parent Plus.